What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me again. Today's video is going to be kind of something from the heart. I think it's something that's a little bit serious and isn't really talked about enough. It's a really important thing to me, and it's honestly important to all artists for them to learn how to do this, because it might seem really textbook and easy, but honestly it's not. And conquering this is important. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to achieve this and how to reach this goal. But without wasting any more of your time, let's get into it. So before we hop into this video, I just want to say that I am changing my schedule up a little bit. I will no longer be posting on Fridays for the next probably for the next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to post on Wednesdays only, just one video a week. I just have a really busy month in October, a couple weddings, quite a few, honestly, different photo shoots to do. So I'm going to keep it a little bit easy and light on the videos for now, and then we'll get back into it as I get into a groove. But let's get into the video. So for starters, this is just one large tip with several other smaller tips to achieve the larger tip that have helped me and so many others like me, and just any artist in general. Honestly, a lot of these things can help out in the long run. So for starters, our main large tip is going to be that you need to learn to love your art. It's so important that you learn to love it. And I don't mean just, oh, I like this. I mean, you really got to feel that love for what you're creating, and that you're creating it just for you and no one else, because it's so important to feel this for what you're working on. And the reason being is because you could lose inspiration, you could lose your courage and dedication to keep creating, which can obviously lead to failure and then eventually just quitting altogether. It's so important to feel this kind of love for your art. And if this is something that you're struggling with, don't worry, because you're not alone. And if you keep listening, I'm gonna give you some tips and help you on achieving this goal of really loving your art. For me personally, this is something that I struggled with from the beginning of 2017 up to about March and April of 2018 is when I really got myself out of this rut. I just kind of really started diving into my photography classes and my work. I had a lot of great people surrounding me that helped me get to that point, and it was something that was really hard to do, but I did get myself out of there by just kind of following these tips and this path that I found from other people and kind of formed into one little section. So for starters, the first tip is going to be, do not allow long dead periods. The long dead periods without creating is where you really are going to lose your inspiration the most. It's obviously great to take a little bit of time off, but those long periods, you lose a lot of yourself, especially in the beginning. So you need to try to stay creating constantly, especially if you're a beginner. When I was just starting out, I would shoot 5 times a week just because I wanted to improve. But even when I felt myself fall off the cliff a little bit, I forced myself to keep creating and keep going, because as I improved, I learned to enjoy what I was creating even more. Secondly is you need to keep an eye on who you surround yourself with. I'm not telling you to cut off all your non-creative friends, but are the people that you surround yourself with on a regular basis, are they creatives? Do they push you? Are they inspiring you every day? That's something you really need to ask yourself, because having more creative friends is so important to getting to where you want to be. Everyone can do anything that they want on their own. You can be as independent as you want, but having a support group will get you to where you want to be at a quicker rate, and you'll learn to love and appreciate the arts more. I'm gonna make a whole different video on this, so I'm not gonna go too in depth, but for now I just want to leave you with trying to get more creative friends. Just the tip in general is to reach out to more creatives and have them in your life on a regular basis. If you guys are liking this video so far, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below. If you want to see more helpful tip videos kind of like this, they're going to be super deep and in-depth videos, because obviously I can help anyone on a basic standpoint, but I want to try to get a little bit deeper with the people that follow me. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be doing a lot of these. And then as for if this is something you've dealt with, or you've learned anything so far, be sure to let me know down in the comments. So for the third tip is you need to stop comparing yourself to others. This is something that's so hard to achieve with YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all different social media platforms. It's really hard to achieve. For me in the beginning, I had a lot of great artists that I constantly would like to mimic, but then try to compare my work super hard. Mimicking and comparing are two different things, because you learn from mimicking, but when you compare, you bring yourself down a lot. And so with me, it was Peter McKinnon, Chris Howe, Evan Ranft, and I just really constantly tried to mimic them and compare myself to them. And then as I really just learned that comparing myself was doing more detriment, and I just kind of stuck with the trying to mimic and then create my own work out of that, it really helped me a lot. So try to stay focused on creating what you're creating for yourself. do not compare yourself to other people. It's super hard. I understand. Everyone goes through it. It's a really difficult thing to conquer. But as you learn to just train your mind to stay focused on yourself, it's really important, because the one thing that a lot of these artists don't have, doesn't matter how big or small, is they aren't you. You have your own originality. No matter what it is, it's in there. You just have to understand that you're creating the work for yourself. So the end of that tip perfectly bleeds into the last tip that I want to give you guys, and that is stop creating and posting art for anyone that isn't yourself. You need to be focused on creating and understanding the fact that your art is yours. I'm not saying stop posting, but stop posting for anyone that isn't you, because the whole point of posting your art is to show people what you created. You're posting it to show people what you created for yourself. The numbers aren't important. Stop focusing on that. It's not what's important. What's important is that you're doing what you love for yourself, because if you do what you love for yourself, there are other people out there that will love it just as much as you do. And that's what's awesome, is if you stay centered and you focus on that, you will learn so much. A lot of people get caught up in following trends and doing what other people are doing just to get the likes and the clicks, and they lose the love for what they're doing, especially as life goes on. Because guess what? They stopped creating for the one person that they started creating for, and that was for themselves. I just really recommend, guys, to just stay focused on doing what you want to do, not what anyone else is doing, and make sure that it is something that you're really aligned with and that you enjoy doing. One thing that I want to note is loving your art and being dissatisfied with it are two completely different things. Because when you're dissatisfied with your work, and I don't mean fully, I mean like there's just things that you can see yourself improve on and you want to work on, it allows for growth, improvement, and better creative abilities as an artist. But when you don't love your art, it means that you literally can sit there, you can look at your art and just be disgusted by it, and you just feel like it's something that no one should see. You hate it. Everyone has had these before. Everyone has had this piece that they created and they just absolutely hate it. They hate it all together. I mean, I'm talking like I've had full photo shoots where I've just trashed when I was in the time period of not loving my own art. And it happens to the best of us. And if you work yourself through that, that's what's important. So remember, wanting to improve and being a little dissatisfied and just absolutely not even wanting to really reveal it to anything or anyone is a whole different story. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know by hitting the like button down below. If you want to see a bit more inspirational and helpful videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like I said it before, I really want to start making videos that can be really helpful for artists all around. Obviously, I make my own photography videos, but I think that giving tips that really hit people a lot deeper are super important, because you can improve on everything, technically, and then if you really improve on yourself, that's when your art really starts to improve. So I want to make sure I do more of those. If this has been helpful for you, be sure to let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback on it. Or if this is something you've struggled with and maybe one of these things is something that you did to help yourself, let me know. And if this is something that you are struggling with, reach out to me. My DMs are always open. I'm happy to talk to anybody that needs some help and some inspiration and some guidance, because that's my whole purpose with this channel, is to inspire and help everyone else grow that follows me. So thank you again for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. This one was a little bit of a different one, and I kind of want to keep along this path, as well as working on more photography stuff. But for now, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.